Sup? Just a little weird video here right now. I wasn't going to use YouTube for this. I wanted to keep this thing separate from YouTube. And also I kind of wanted to feel like there was a purpose to that Reddit account that I've owned since like 2013 or whatever. I think I replied to one thing and then promptly forgot about it. But apparently you can't post on Reddit without enough karma. From what I understand, you get karma by posting things. Look, I don't understand how Reddit works. I don't really care. I guess I can reply to other people's posts. Which I did a couple and then I just stopped. I just couldn't be asked to. I mean, like, whatever. I have a YouTube channel. I guess I'm going to assume I still don't get any views. So I'm basically shouting into the void. But, I mean, what else is new in my life? Besides, I'm also... Yeah, so it's a bit of a waste of time, but... So I don't expect to get an answer to my questions. But... there is something positive about this. I've been trying to stop the cancer sticks. So I don't mind wasting time. Anything to not think about those things. So, if you've been around for a bit, you may be familiar with the mental issues that I have. There's obviously the depression thing. I know that's been mentioned a few times. But I can't really do anything about that, apparently. Just something I have to learn to live with. Apparently make sure I don't have any kids, because apparently if one parent has it, there's like a 75% chance that any offspring will have it. So, you know, yeah, I don't want to be the reason why someone else has to deal with this shit, so not a whole lot I can do about that. However, there's also the severe mental, the severe social anxiety thing that I have. And I've been thinking, is there something I could do about that? For the longest time, I figured probably not, because the mental block is real. Like, going to the store with more than like 5 people there, I risk passing out. And I don't like doing that. So, I own a VR headset. I don't know what it's called these days. Back when I bought it, it was called an Oculus Rift. But that was before Meta threatened to make it an expensive paperweight if I didn't make a Meta account. Now I question how legal that was, but Zuckerberg is richer than me, so I can't complain. I want to, but I can't. So, I was playing Half-Life Alyx. In my opinion, phenomenal game, by the way. Apart from that one part. The Jeff part can suck my butthole. I think it was Jeff. And I remembered this thing that I had heard about called VRchat. And I was wondering if I could use that. My thought process was, there's people, there's voices, there's interaction, but I have the VR as sort of like a barrier. Like there, but not really there, if that makes sense. So I figured, you know, maybe this would help me. It was worth a shot, at least, right? But I was a little bit worried, as I probably wouldn't be able to talk. How would people feel about that? You know, it's called VRchat. and I didn't have any major plans of doing any chatting. So I did some research, and I found out about this thing called mutes. People who don't talk. And I read that they were more or less accepted. So even going as far as saying they appreciated them. Great listeners, apparently. So I figured, if I go into it as a mute, taking baby steps, if I ever, became a part of a crew, a little bit hard when you don't talk, I'm sure, but like, maybe someone would tolerate me enough to, no, yeah, you don't talk, but, I hear them half decent listeners sometimes. Maybe eventually I could start talking a little bit. Think Silent Bob. Pimp had like one line per movie or something. Like maybe say something once a month. Maybe go on a rant once a month. I don't know. But that's like way in the future. So I didn't worry about it too much. But I downloaded VRchat. Spent quite a bit of time just getting used to things. The controls, how the game worked. Checking out what people had made. Finding an avatar that I was happy with. Which was, side note, was impossible. I was told to you know what, I said it was a side note. I'm gonna make this not a side note, because this is actually an issue in my opinion. I was told to find an avatar that represented me. What would that be? Boring male human. Something you would see in real life. Apparently it doesn't fucking exist in VRchat. For every 1,000 female avatars, you find one male. And since I also wanted something that was at least somewhat well optimized, not fucking happening. Optimization is blood red. They look like someone that would rather kill you than be in the same room. You know the kind. If you use VRchat, you've seen them. They're like a dime a dozen from the looks of things. Half naked, bangs in their eyes, tattoos and piercings everywhere. Like it's not my style. It doesn't represent me. I don't have the talent and the know-how to make my own. So after a while, I found something that I, liked well enough, sort of represented me. I'll get back to that because I've had experiences and it's kind of connected to the purpose of this video. But like I said, I spent some time getting the hang of things, and on New Year's, I went into a public world for the first time. I heard that they do this New Year's world, and a portal would pop up in default home to a random instance of this world. Do I have to record VRchat? I'm not sure how to do that, and I have a separate computer for VR. You know what? I think I found a camera so I can take pictures. If that camera saves pictures on the hard drive, I'll see if I can get those up here. It's better than nothing, just in case someone watches this, they have no freaking clue what I'm talking about. But I felt that this was like a good excuse for me to basically invade someone else's world. Like, I didn't choose your instance, I just walked into a portal. I'm innocent. Be angry at VRchat, you know? So about 30 minutes before midnight, Norway time, I entered the portal. About 15 minutes past midnight, I gave up. I had children screaming in my ears. Like, there's no way these were old enough to use VRchat. I remember when I set up an account, I was asked for a date of birth. I figured there was an age limit. Plus, I've heard it's bad for people under 13, I think, to use VR. Like, sort of the same as like the 3D on the 3DS was a thing for a while. I don't know, but yeah, like 7-year-olds at most. And a bunch of people who clearly didn't give a shit about optimization, popping this massive avatars, causing all of us to almost lag out. You know, and on top of the expected issues, like it was barely possible for me to be there. I swapped instance multiple times, didn't help. Now, at some point, someone, I think, started talking to me. So in an attempt to signal to this person that I wouldn't respond verbally, you know, mute taking baby steps, I used like the emote wheel. I think it's called accessibility. And I did like that mic with like the weird like no symbol on top. This this person apparently didn't like mutes and made that perfectly fucking clear. So about 15 minutes past midnight, I just couldn't deal with it anymore and I logged out. Somewhere in January, like mid-ish, I tried again. Wasn't much better. This was the first time I was accused of, shall we say, being one of those creeps that like to get down and dirty with animals. And I'm guessing it was the avatar. So, like I said, because I knew I would get back to this, I couldn't find anything that properly represented me. So I had to find something that I liked and at least kinda represented me. So after God knows how many hours of searching, I found this world made by a Danish dude, I believe. And he has like this collection of, I believe they're called Yukons. It's like this weird fox girl, and her shirt is like the Norwegian flag. It also has some toggles that are so Norwegian it's not even really funny. This is the closest I can get to something that represents me, because Norwegian. I feel it's hardly a reason to accuse me of doing gross and more than a little bit illegal shit. And of course I got even more shit thrown at me for not talking. On February 13th, I tried again. More or less the same shit. But this time I set up my own world. Like my own public world. The thought process was, you chose to join this world. You knew the risks. You don't like me. Fuck off. And yes, they would fuck off. After once again making their opinions on a, quote, mute animal shagger, unquote, pretty fucking clear. It's, as I'm recording this, it's March 2nd. I could keep going. There's been situations in between these situations. But this, if I'm gonna go through all of them, this is gonna be like a... fucking... Yeah, I mean... Like, I gotta have at least like 25-30 hours in public and not a single positive experience. This would be a long video. And I would need to like put up all sorts of times and just it hasn't been nice, shall we say. But the point of this video, now that you're at least somewhat familiar with the situation, I have some questions, and I hope that maybe someone with experience in VRchat can answer these. I'm not holding my breath, but there we go. 1. I got 3 questions. I think there might be more, I'm not sure. 1. Is this game full of nothing but assholes and or children? I know it's early, 25 to 30-ish hours, but at this point I'm starting to lose hope. 2. Was the acceptance of mutes just a fucking lie? 3. Should I just uninstall VRchat and embrace the hermit life? I don't know, man. Like, I wasn't expecting like you know, the kind of community that you see in like lolathons videos. Like, they seem quite tight-knit and friendly with each other. Like, I wasn't expecting that. But I sure as shit wasn't expecting League of Legends. Or Xbox 360, Xbox Live, COD lobby. You know? Like, man. Like, where the portal usually is, like where the portal to this New Year world was, usually there's like this portal to like a monkey ball-esque world. I even once went there once, and Jesus Christ, my God, some of the shit that people can say, it's absolutely mind-blowing. Like, I didn't even join in on the game. I was just standing on the boat, just watching them, and I was like, where the fuck are your parents? Holy Christ. But, yeah, anyways, it would be nice if someone could answer those questions for me, but like I said, not holding my breath. But at least I've asked them. I've done everything I can do, really. Thanks for watching.